All right, great. Well, I think it is 9:30, so I'm going to call to order the HHS meeting on November 16th. Roll call.
Chair Runyan.
Here.
Vice Chair Swarzy.
Here.
Member Selman.
Here.
Member Chaplin.
Here.
Member Dessart. Here. Member LaPlante.
Here. Do you have any public comment?
No public comment.
All right, so I just want to remind everyone that the Care Center is sponsoring an Adopt a Resident. It's going on throughout the holidays. So kind of neat. You can have a specific resident provide some of the things they want, or the easier way is you can go on Amazon wish list. Yes, Janelle?
Every resident has been adopted.
Oh,
Oh.
Wow.
But there's still a wish list.
There's still a wish list.
Wow.
That's part of my
Oh,
report.
okay.
So you're good. I'm done.
All right, great news. Well, there is no shortage of things to buy, as we know, on Amazon, so I'll participate in that. And what a great job of Janelle making the holiday special for everyone, and I hope everyone can participate. So the other thing I wanted to bring up once again, Benefactors Ball. Anybody wants to dance with me or Greg Schwarzy? Come on down. We'll be there.
Coming good.
Chaplain 2 is going to be there, so please come. Great cause again for the Care Center. I also wanted to mention a thank you to Bridget James and Gina Stafford Ahmed. They're doing some great outreach in one of our low-income areas in Wilbur Corner to sign people up for rental assistance and ride and all that kind of stuff. So I'm very appreciative of that. So with that, I will take a motion to approve the minutes of November 2nd. All right, questions, comments, additions?
I do have a comment, a suggestion from here on out. I noticed that in the minutes it says member Chaplin and Dessart left the meeting at 10:00 a.m., which is true. And I'm sure that the past several meetings, it has said the same thing, that we leave the meetings early. And I just didn't want to, I'd like the minutes to reflect that we leave the meeting early to go to another committee meeting. Because I think it looks bad if anybody looks at I'm very proud of my attendance record. And across the board, you know, at the board meeting and committee meetings. And I think it looks bad that it says I left the meeting early when I left it early to go to another meeting.
Okay, so, no problem. So are you suggesting an amendment to motion to amend the minutes to include that you had left for another meeting? You remember Chaplin?
Yes.
Okay,
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, all in favor of that motion?
Aye.
So that the amendment is approved. So now we have to vote on the minutes themselves.
Can I make the motion also to amend it for all future minutes to reflect?
Okay, I think we can probably just note that in our minutes of today, that going forward. I know I've seen it with other committees. I know member Eckert and I were late for EQSB once, and he made the same type of.
Thank you.
All right. So anyway, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
Second.
Second. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Those are approved, and thank you for that comment. Thank you. And I will take a motion to approve FIR 53021 resolution acceptance appropriation for live heat for HHS $1,747,629. We have a motion. We have a second. Do we have any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That is approved. Take a motion on FIR 053121 resolution acceptance for extension of time for low-income kit energy program to extend it through December 31st, 2021. We have a motion. We have a second. Yes.
Just a quick question. I was going to ask Mayor Keating to just explain the timeline. It appears this grant expired in 2020, and we're extending it to the end of this year. It's only a month and a half away.
The only reason we had to extend it is that finance received a check for a couple $100, and there was no grant to assign it to.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because the grant had already expired.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Stakes are high. All right, we have a motion. We have a second. Any other questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That is approved. Take motion FIR 053321 resolution acceptance appropriation of low income household water assistance program for $1,640,808. We have a motion. We have a second. Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved. The motion on HHSR 052421 resolution authorization execution of IGA with Pace Suburban Bus with Community Services for Senior
Second.
Transportation Grant Program, $96,386. Your motion in a second? Yes.
Sorry again. Again, I was going to ask Mary to just explain briefly the quick difference in items 7A, D, E, and F, because they're all in our governmental agreements with PACE. So just more of a clarification.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your question. Yes, you're correct. They are all three intergovernmental agreements with PACE. They are for different services operating under the DuPage umbrella. They are funded with different funding sources and have different eligibility, which is why they're each distinctly called out separately. The first is funding specifically that we received from the Northeastern Illinois Area Agency on Aging for transportation for seniors. And we do it for a number of different purposes, medical trips, grocery trips to, sort of kind of one-time, special needs transportation for seniors. The second one, item E, is the large program that we run through the Department of Community Services, where we have both our Transportation to Work program, which is funded through a combination of general fund and RTA grant money, and our paratransit program, which is for low-income individuals traveling back and forth to work. Both of those programs are funded either wholly or partially with general funds, so that's why they're in a single IGA. And then the third is specifically funding that the Veterans Assistance Commission, they use a portion of their funding to provide transportation to and from Hines Hospital for veterans.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, question. We have a motion, we have a second. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved. The motion on HHSR 52521 resolution authorizing an IGA. This is with Pace Suburban Bus and paratransit, $825,000. We have a motion in a second. Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved. The motion HHSR 052621 resolution. This is an IGA with Pace Community Services for paratransit services to veterans, $43,561. We have a motion in a second. Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That is approved. The motion HHSP 043521 recommendation approval of contract purchase order to sub-grantee agreement with People's Resource Center for food, diapers, adult diapers, and household cleaning supplies belonging to residents of DuPage County, January 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2021, not to exceed $30,000. We have a motion. We have a second. Questions or comments? Yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a comment about the People's Resource Center. We had an opportunity, Chair Renahan and I think you were there too, to tour the People's Resource Center. And I cannot say enough about this model. Not only do they have like a grocery store that's of course free where you can pick up your groceries, but they also do job training, job coaching, resume coaching, and they have this closet, which is a room about this size where people can go and pick out appropriate clothing for interviews. So I love this model. I also know that diapers, especially adult diapers and diapers for the older toddler groups, are very much in need. Our ACE organization held a diaper drive, an adult diaper drive for the People's Resource Center in May, and that was successful. Question, is this an annual contract and how much has been given in the past? How do we come up with $30,000?
Because off the top of my head, I don't know the total amount. This is CSBG funding.
Gotcha.
So CSBG funds, we fund a number of different nonprofit organizations. You'll see there's a number of CSBG agreements here. 30,000 is what the People's Resource Center requested. So this is there's very short time frame on the spending of these funds. What we're doing is reallocating some of the funding that we had set aside for rent assistance, because there's so many other forms of rent assistance out there. We were having difficulty spending the CSBG rent assistance. So we reallocated it to a number of different agencies. Gina reached out to the kind of the big agencies that we work with very closely on CSBG, asked them what they could, what could they accommodate to have spent by the end of this year. So you'll see a number of these agreements, and that's basically what they're kind of all based upon. I can get you the information of how much we've provided to PRC. I don't have the the
That's fine.
full
That's
budget
fine.
printout,
You're
but-
busy enough to get nothing in place. Well, as a PSA, I just want to say that in this time of giving, especially if you go on Amazon, you can order adult diapers or toddler diapers for the older toddlers, the 5 Ts and that sort of thing. Go on Amazon, order diapers, have them delivered directly to the People's Resource Center. That's how our fundraiser was held. And go through your closet, any old suits you don't use, any old, resume, interview outfits that you can find, drop them off at the People's Resource Center. I wanted to just give that PSA out, put that out there.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. And I just wanted to know, I spoke with Mary on this item and the others as well. And, the request was for 30,000, as in the other West Suburban, the request was for that. It was fulfilled the same with loaves and fishes. So just as a side note. So we have a motion, we have a second. Questions, any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That is approved. Take a motion on HHSR 052721 resolution issuance of payment
So moved.
by DuPage
Second.
County to energy assistance providers for LIHEAP, $1,427,813 with motion made second. Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved. Take a motion on HHSR 053221 resolution approval of issuance of payment by DuPage County to water assistance providers for the water program, $1,345,463. We have a motion, we have a second. Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved. Take a motion on change order HHSP 0005A-21, minute resolution HHSP 0005-21, outreach community services to increase encumbrance in the amount of $15,000.
So moved.
Second.
The motion, we have a second. Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved. All right, the next two, we just do a roll call.
Bless you.
Right. Thank you. I'll take a motion on 2021-92, contract to enter into sub-grantee agreement with West Suburban Community Pantry,
So
again,
moved.
for food,
Second.
diapers, self-diapers, cleaning supplies, personal care items, low-income residents, January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2021. So yes, to the end of the year, 14,400. And I think we have questions, we had a motion in a second, questions, comments.
Well, I will just say, if I may, I was at the West Suburban Food Pantry yesterday, dropped off 15 boxes of books for Scarce. This is another amazing, I don't know if you guys, amazing facility. Just, they do such great work over there. So I'm really pleased that we're entering into these contracts with these organizations.
Yeah,
I'll just point out that both the West Suburban facility and the People's Resource Facility were both funded with community development block grant funds. So not only do we assist with operating funds, we also provide capital so that these organizations can build the appropriate facilities.
Well, so, all right, roll call, please.
Member Chaplin,
Aye.
Member Desart,
Aye.
Member LaPlante,
Aye.
Vice Chair Swarzy,
Aye.
Member Selman,
Aye.
Chair Renahan.
Aye. That's approved. I'll take a motion on 2021-93, recognition and approval of contract purchase order to this is with loaves and fishes, again, food to low-income residents of DuPage County, January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2021 through community services, $6,000. So we have a motion, we have a second. Do we have any questions or comments on this item? Roll call, please.
Member Desart,
Aye.
Member LaPlante,
Aye.
Vice Chair Swarzy,
Aye.
Member Selman,
Aye.
Member Chaplin,
Aye.
Chair Renahan.
Aye. All right, that's approved. I'll take a motion on HHSR 052821, resolution recommendation for approval
So
of first
moved.
modification
Second.
to Emergency Solutions Grant with PADS, increasing funding by $775,000. We have a motion, we have a second. Do you have any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved. Motion HHSR
So
052921, resolution for
Second.
approval of community development block grant CARES Act for PADS Income Housing Center. Drum roll, please. The amount of $5 million for purchase of an interim housing center. Community development block grant approved. CARES Act funding portion is $3 million. Finance ARPA money is $2 million. We have a motion. We have a second.
I believe on that one, is that the one that?
And I would like to note there's a zero was left off, so funding portion of $2 million. So just I'm noting the Scrivener's error. I am notified, I don't have to ask for amendment on this. Thank you for reminding me. Questions, comments on this?
I just have one more point of clarification that this committee has oversight of the CDBG portion of the funding. So even though the ARPA funding is listed in the blurb, that's more just for context and clarification. So the action that you're taking is specific to the 3 million CDBG.
And are we okay to do a like? I'm sorry.
I think a motion to amend. So you second and prove the.
Oh, I have to do a motion to amend.
Yes, I thought it was there, right?
Oh, I thought you said I didn't have to.
Okay, I'll make a motion to amend this up to $2 million.
All right, we have a motion to amend. We have a second on motion to amend. And all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that is amended. So then I'll take a motion on underlying.
Yes.
All right, motion second. Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that's good to know. Yay. All right, moving on to moving on to care center requests. I'll take a motion to approve HHSP 043621 recommendation approval contract. Second, purchase order with Symbia Inc., community wellness partner for the wellness and outpatient center, staffing and management for the care center, November 30, 2021 to November 30, 2022, not to exceed $5,000. We have a motion, we have a second. Do you have any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved. I'll take a motion on HHSP 0437-21, ratification of an emergency procurement for performance food services for secondary supplier for the care center on county campus.
So moved.
November 24, 2021, to May 31st, 2022, not to exceed $50,000. The motion, we have a second. Questions, comments?
And the second was.
I don't know.
Second was over there somewhere. Was that you, member Check?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I just wondered, how is this, or in what way is this an emergency procurement?
This was from.
If you might recollect, our primary food vendor, the employees went on strike. And so we had delays in our food delivery. So we thought to prepare for future events, that we would put in the second emergency.
Gotcha. All right, thank you so much.
Never saw that.
Thank you. So this says it'll serve the county campus too. That doesn't mean this building, right? It's just for you guys?
Well, we have the cafes. If cafes are up and running, it would also, the same food comes out of the
They're
same
not
vendor.
up and running now though, right? Joan, sorry, that's probably more a question for you.
I'm
The
sorry.
cafeteria downstairs isn't running right now.
That
We're
is
not,
correct. It's
we're not
not.
trying to do this. It's just backup for care center. We're not.
It would be a backup for here too, if the cafes are up and
If we
running.
were open.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure we weren't
Same
spending
vendor.
money to do that now.
Yep.
Perfect.
I haven't been over to the courthouse. Is the courthouse cafeteria open? To my knowledge, it is, Janelle.
Yes.
Good questions. Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That is approved. We all look forward to the cafeteria opening. Sure. I'll take a motion on HHSP 043821, recommendation for approval of contract order with Symbria for physical, occupational, speech, and respiratory therapy and consulting services for residents at the care center, November 30th, 2021 to November 30th, 2022, not to exceed $190,500. The motion, we have a second. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved. And I'll take a motion on 2021-94, recommendation for approval of contract with professional medical and surgical supply for liquid protein for the care center.
So moved. Second.
January 7, 2022 through January 6, 2023, not to exceed $15,750. We have a motion, we have a second, and then a roll call, please.
Member Desart?
Aye.
Member LaPlante?
Aye.
Vice Chair Swarzy? Member Selman?
Aye.
Member Chaplin?
Aye.
And Chair Renahan.
Aye. That's approved. We did not have any residency waivers. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. And Janelle Chadwick for the care center, please.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, every resident has been adopted. I again want to talk about the rec therapy department at the care center throughout COVID and throughout the holiday planning. They've just been so creative in finding ways to still bring joy to the residents, whether they're in quarantine or we're in a full outbreak or we're not. They just step up to the challenge every time and knock it out of the park. So this is an example of their efforts. So this is a record. So by this time this year, this is the first time we've had everyone adopted this year.
Yay.
Yep.
Bravo.
And we just had one unit that was on quarantine come off quarantine. So we've had no staff or residents, I'm almost afraid to say this, that have been positive for greater than 2 weeks. So we're happy about that. Just to update you, the residents received boosters. We have 1 that refused, 3 that could not get the vaccine yet. So they likely will. They just are in stages of recovery. In staff, we are now up at 87%. And we do have that CMS guideline coming for all staff, and we'll be working on that. Not sure if it'll be redacted. I hear some scuttlebutt, but right now it's going for December 5th is the initial vaccination. More to come on that.
Member Selman?
First, congratulations on your lack of COVID in the building. I know that's a moving target for you guys. As we look forward to the holiday season, I know we've seen the numbers start to tick up. What are your thoughts on visitation and sort of how?
Well, visitation, we have a lot of requirements to allow. And so it's been interesting as the various upticks have come and gone. They actually got more lenient in visitation. We're like, wait, what are you doing? But we have to follow it. It just varies, but we are modeling our holiday events to what we did last year, just as a precaution.
I'm so glad that not only you can sort of get visitation back, but some programs, like some much happier holiday season than last year. So good work.
Yes.
Madam Chair, if I could add something to Janelle's update.
Yes.
She mentioned the recreational staff. Every year, the Daily Herald does a series called Someone You Should Be Thankful For. And we have promoted Henry Parker, who is a member of the recreational staff, who's going to be retiring at the end of the year to be DuPage County's person we should be thankful for. So he's been interviewed by the Daily Herald, and he will appear in an article.
Good. Yay. More good news. Thank you. Anybody else? Questions? No? Well, thank you, Janelle.
Yep.
All right. I think we're going to go to community services update, Mary Keating, but first I'd like to welcome Trish. Welcome, 10 years senior services. Mary, take it away.
So today we are recognizing Trish for her 10-year anniversary. Trish is the manager of our ombudsman unit. She is she's just one of those people who's just always calm and cheerful. And, back when we were all in the office all day, every day, it was just always really a pleasure to get a chance to interact with Trish. Still is. I don't see her in 3 dimensions as much as I did 2 years ago, but I really appreciate her dedication to the long-term care residents that we serve in the ombudsman program, and her dedication to the employees and her commitment to the county. And I'm going to let Natasha say a few more words.
Sure, thank you. So I actually started working with Trish 10 years ago. I hired her 10 years ago. So I'm really excited to be able to then promote her to manager. And within the first 9 months of her initial promotion, COVID hit. So her job really drastically changed from then going from doing our regular ombudsman work to then monitoring all the COVID protocols for our 90 facilities, also tracking outbreak status, keeping our staff safe, making sure that when we went back into facilities in July of 2020, that we started off with our window visits, then she moved to doing her staff doing outreach visits, and then eventually going back in person. So her job was heavy in the beginning over the last, 18 months as we were trying to navigate through COVID and getting back in to see our residents who really, really needed our assistance. So I'm really proud of the work that she's done over the last 10 years and hope to see her here for.
Oh, and one of her coworkers, she has joined us.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Am I supposed to speak? I don't know. Thank you very much. It's been, as Janelle can attest, it's been a crazy couple of months or a year and a half or so in the long-term care world. And it's been a challenge, but I do want to say I thank Mary and Natasha for their leadership, and I really have to commend my staff. I've been the last couple of days really reading through and going through many of the cases that have been, that were really up and coming through that time period. And just the things that that they had experienced, that they dealt with, the horror stories, the challenges, the things like that, that folks have all dealt with has just been amazing and challenging for many. So I'm very happy to be here. I love it. I love what I do. I love our MA program. So I thank you all very much for this.
So now I'm going to ask for a photo.
Probably, I hate white wall photos, but we'll take one.
So do I.
I hate white wall photos, but we'll take one because it's a good day. Have fun right now. All right, here we go. All right, everybody say anniversary.
Anniversary.
All right, thank you all very much.
That wasn't everybody, by the way. I know it wasn't. Following directions, yes.
You're the only one caffeinated, I think, this morning.
All right, I have more.
Go ahead, Mary.
So first, I just want to express some sympathy for Karen, who had to deal with the agenda issue. Just so that you're aware. So if you go onto the website and you click on every link, they're all correct. And somewhere in the conversion to a PDF, there's a bug in the system somewhere. And yeah. So
just paid for
So we, you know, like, as I said, my sympathies to Karen for,
thank you,
for trying to, you know, the stress that she went through, trying to figure out why there was the mix up. But the good news is that everything was properly published and there weren't any issues with things not being properly noticed. Second, just quick, on the infrastructure bill, the weatherization program looks to be getting some more funding. So we don't know anything about how much funding that will be, or if there will be different guidelines from what the current weatherization program is. But I think it's a significant increase over what the annual weatherization appropriation is. There's $3.5 billion. I don't think the overall weatherization program is anywhere near that size. So we'll be seeing, we anticipate an expansion of that program coming up. On to rent assistance. So I want to give a couple of updates on what's going on there. So IDA had originally announced that November 8th, they were going to reopen the rent assistance portal. They had to make the very difficult decision the Saturday before that there were some issues with their new software platform, and they made the difficult decision to postpone a month rather than open it and risk it crashing. Sort of the silver lining of that reason of why they had to postpone it is they're moving to a new software platform that will provide additional flexibility. Both the landlord and the tenant can start independently, can start an application, and then the software will kind of, you know, go through an algorithm to match those two. That platform is also what's going to support the mortgage assistance program. The mortgage assistance program, unlike the rent assistance where large counties got their own allocation, the federal mortgage assistance program is being allocated entirely through states. So we don't have any direct allocation ourselves, but each state has to go through an approval process where they submit their state plan to the Department of Treasury, and Treasury is going through the process of approving each individual plan. My understanding is there's been like 2 states who've gotten their plans approved by Treasury. I know IDA had a call on Friday with Treasury. IDA has submitted their mortgage plan to Treasury weeks, if not months ago. They've been waiting on Treasury to approve. So they're hoping that program will launch in late January. That's their goal. But obviously, our whole team, I know Joan's whole team would stand ready to do as much outreach as we possibly can once that program is up and running, to make sure that DuPage homeowners also get some financial supports that the renters have been getting. Let's see, so.
I think Member Selman had a real quick question while we're on this topic.
Do you have any idea about eligibility yet for the mortgage assistance, or is that not really been shared yet?
That hasn't been shared yet. I think that's all stuff that has to be approved by Treasury. I'm not sure if because we're not running it, I haven't actually read through the legislation or the statute. So I assume there's probably some income threshold, but I don't know that offhand. I can certainly find out that information.
Yeah, whenever that's all finalized, I'm sure we will.
Yeah, I would speculate it's probably 80% of median income, something like that.
Something about his payments and all that, I would think. So.
Right.
Thank you.
I did. I have a quick question. I'm a kind of a news junkie, and I saw the news gosh, last week or the week before about the rental assistance program and how if counties don't use whatever 60% of it.
I was just about to get to that.
Oh, good.
IDA
I'm
has,
sorry, I have to leave though.
IDA has expended 100% of our funds.
Oh, good. Okay, great.
And yeah.
Well, as they were doing the news story on NBC5, they were saying Lake County is underperforming, blah, blah, and they never came to DuPage County. So I'm happy to hear that.
Right, because guess what Lake County did that DuPage didn't do. Lake County managed their own program.
Gotcha.
We hitched our wagon to IDA and yeah, so they've expended 100% of our funds.
Just please let the record show that I'm leaving this meeting. Yes, and another meeting.
Thank you.
Mary, just how much of that original rental assistance funds are still available?
Well, so there's a second tranche now. So 100% of our first allocation has been expended.
That was all used, okay.
It was all used.
Okay.
But we're getting a second allocation. So we'll be bringing another intergovernmental agreement forward. Okay. I want to talk to finance. I'm kind of hoping that we can do that next Tuesday. Regardless, so our additional funding will be in that December pool. Okay. Because I don't see any reason why we couldn't do it either next week or the first week of December.
Great, thank you.
So on to Member Renahan had asked that we give kind of an update of how is it going on the court-based assistance. So just a note that we, as our staffing challenges continue, we don't have 2 case managers over there yet. So we have a single case manager and Joan Fox, who is trying to fit in as much of her time actually sitting in court as she can. But with that, as of last week, we have had 51 unduplicated calls into the dedicated phone line that we have for individuals in eviction court who are looking for financial supports. We've had 17 folks come through our information and referral line who were in eviction court who have been referred to our case manager. And then we've had one-on-one meetings with 21 households in eviction court. So in many cases, we've been able, and because they're busy doing the work, we don't have sort of a formal report written up, but I can tell you anecdotally, a number of the folks that we've worked with, that we've met with, we've assisted them in applying to the IDA court-based portal. We're also looking for opportunities to connect them to other resources. So there are folks in eviction court who are being evicted because the association fees for their condo are unpaid. And so we're looking for resources for those folks. We've had seniors who, there was an individual, an elderly gentleman who was living with his brother. His brother passed away. Fortunately, he didn't own the property, had no right to the property, but our staff worked very closely with our seniors division. The gentleman actually needed long-term care, and they were able to identify sort of a permanent solution for his housing instability. The folks at IDA reported to me that there have been 85 applications from DuPage County residents in eviction court that have gone through the court-based portal. 24 have currently been approved. There's about another 21 that they're still working through. And then I think kind of shockingly to me, 40 have been denied it was either ineligible or the individual. So they have found some evidence of some fraud. They have found some, but others have been really instances where the individual maybe did an initial application but didn't follow through, didn't provide the kinds of information that they need. So the IDA staff has committed to work, to work through applications with people, but if people don't respond, there's not much they can do. I don't know, Joan, did you want to add anything, any interesting anecdotes or, I will tell you, so I ran into, the case manager who's currently over there, her name is Dana. I ran into her as we were leaving the building last night, and I asked her how it was going, and she said, it's going okay. She said, it would be really nice to have a coworker though. So if you know anyone who is looking for this type of work, please send them our way. It's, I do think it's very tangible work. you know, you can really make a significant difference if you can help someone avoid eviction or help them with a soft landing so that they at least have some other, you know, some alternative housing lined up. So anything you want to add?
No, Mary, thank you guys for your support and interest in the program.
Anything else?
Nope.
No, I just want to say, I am so very proud of DuPage County and what we're doing to help people with just, you know, stave off homelessness and what we're doing with the eviction program. The handout, the handshake that we're, you know, giving people to help pull them through is just really, really something to be proud of. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Great. Right. Do we have any old business? Do we have any new business? All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn. So move.
Second.
Second. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.